All right, I thought I'd make a little video update on my weight and progress. I think what I'm doing is I'm intermittent fasting because now I put at least 12 hours in between the last meal of the day, dinner, which I try to finish up maybe by 7 or 8. I mean, it could go longer. Um, and then I just decide, let's say I finish at 8 p.m. the night before, then I won't eat anything until 8 a.m. in the morning. And that to me was kind of a, I had not been doing that. I mean, I had been eating constantly, and I'd probably eat a whole loaf of bread before going to sleep. And that was so bad because I'd wake up in the middle of the night, just really thirsty. I mean, I know most people won't do this, but I would do it. I baked a lot of bread, and I'd constantly eat it. And I eat it all the way through. I mean, so let's say the loaf came out at midnight, then I would eat the whole thing before 1 a.m. or something like that. And then I'd wake up in the middle of the night just with headaches, and my mouth would be so parched. It'd feel like cotton. And I'd go, oh my God, I've got to drink something. And then I'd drink, okay, as you know, if you follow my channel, I drink Kool-Aid, but it's low calorie Kool-Aid. I only put 20 grams of sugar per 2 liters. So I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd be just so my mouth would be so dry, and I'd be going, oh, I got to pound. So I'd pound down a liter of Kool-Aid, and I'd still feel thirsty. And so I would, maybe get back to sleep, maybe wake up again, and and drink the remaining 2 liters, and I'd still be thirsty. I mean, unbelievable, right? You think you're going to die, and then I'd make another 2 liters. And so I used to do this, right? My weight wasn't horrible, um, but when I was so I kind of ate this way because I thought I was given license to do this by like the Starch Solution, just eat all the carbs you want, and it was kind of true. I mean, as you know, as I've talked about before, I've lost I'd lost 25 kilos doing that, right? So I went from 105 down to 80, right? Maybe a little bit higher, right? I was probably maintaining about 82, even with this crazy way of eating, because I bike a lot, right? But anyway, eating all that bread at night gave me a huge scare because when I'm sitting there waking up in the middle of the night, having to drink 2, 3, 4 liters and urinate. I mean, you'd also have to urinate as well, and you're starting to think, oh my God, these sound like the symptoms of diabetes. And here I am eating massive amounts of bread. I'm going, maybe I'm harming myself. So what I did, I mean, I really thought I might have diabetes, which was pretty damn scary. So what I did was I got out my blood glucose meter, and I hadn't used it in a long time. And then I was just so scared to take that fasting blood glucose level in the morning. I figured, oh shit, it's going to be something like, I don't know, 110, and I'm going to have diabetes or something like that. But I took it, it was fine. I mean, maybe it was 92 or something like that. And I go, okay, thank God. And then I probably and I probably ate some bread, and then I measured my transient response, my glucose tolerance test. I mean, I ate some bread and kind of a large thing, and plotted my blood glucose um, following that, and it came down really fast. I mean, it might have peaked up at 150, 160, but it came down really quick, and then it was like pretty close to normal after an hour. So, okay, fine. So I'm insulin sensitive. I wasn't worried about that at all, but I just at some point I said, okay, this isn't healthy, and then I don't know. I just noticed my weight was maybe 82 kilos, and I go, I bet I can get lower. So, okay, right now, I still eat bread, still eat all the carbs, and I'm eating meat as well. My weight is down now to about 75 kilos. I haven't been this thin in a long time. Feels great. And so I had just started adopting new rules, right? And I'd be going, well, um, I started using a blood glucose meter just to watch, my responses after meals, and just to measure it. And I started realizing, okay, if you don't eat so much, right? If you just keep your meal small, then you don't feel sleepy afterwards. You feel better. I just realized I was just eating so much just because, I don't know, we just get so accustomed just to, it's essentially hedonic kind of eating. We just eat because we want to, right? There's no real need to. And, people spend a lot of time studying all this nutrition and stuff like that, yet I think what people, maybe they are now, maybe, I know intermittent fasting is probably an old idea, but, uh, but if people just, so my philosophy now is, we are lucky to be able to make bread every day, right? We're lucky to have food. So if you treat it as a resource, a valuable resource, and just only eat really what you need, and you could kind of tell what that is because if you're feeling tired and sleepy after a meal, you ate too much, right? This is pretty obvious. I didn't know this um, because apparently I would just eat a whole loaf of bread before going to sleep. But that's excessive, right? You just kind of realize, all right, it's very strange, right? We just get accustomed to doing crazy things with our food because we kind of, I guess we take it for granted, right? So, at any rate, what I'm gonna do. So I probably haven't eaten now. Last night I probably stopped eating at 8. I don't know, might be 10, might even be later than that now. So I'm gonna make this loaf is about 1/3 white, 1/3 wheat, 1/3 rye. It's got nutmeg, got a bunch of honey. I had a bunch of leftover cream. Um, it's got anise seeds and it's got caraway seeds and salt. And so it's good. I like this. Like I said, did I say I had a bunch of cream that I threw in there? So uh, there's the reason why it's a little bit browner than normal is because if I cooked it in a hot oven, which I normally do in my Dutch oven. But I noticed that when there's sugar in the recipe, uh, it'll tend to burn or what you might want to call caramelize. I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna have this with eggs. So this is probably, I'm gonna guess this thing's probably 1,800 calories maybe. And if I eat this all day with a bunch of eggs, I'll stay within I don't know. I'll stay within my limits. So I'll have a bunch of vegetables, some lettuce, some salads, eggs, and bread. All right, that's it.